History is not always shaped by gentlemen, but by determined ones, and some rulers build their states not with mercy, but with order. Today's figure is Ivan IV, known to history as Ivan the Terrible. But the word terrible did not originally mean cruel. In Old Russian, it meant formidable, powerful, and Ivan was exactly that. Childhood, hardness. Born from powerlessness, Ivan was born in 1530. He lost his father at the age of 3. By 8, his mother was gone too. What followed was court intrigue, betrayal, humiliation, and isolation. Young Ivan grew up under the shadow of the boyars, the powerful aristocracy. Even in his own palace, he had no real power. He was neglected, insulted, sometimes even starved. History teaches us something simple. Some children who grow up powerless never let go of power once they gain it. Ivan never did. The throne. Russia's first Tsarin, 1547, at just 16. Ivan was crowned not merely as a prince, but as the first Tsar of Russia. The title came from the legacy of the Byzantine emperors. The message was clear. Russia would no longer be a loose collection of rival princes. It would become a centralized state, and Ivan was ready to pay any price to achieve it. Rebuilding the state in his early rule, Ivan was surprisingly balanced and reform-minded. He introduced a new legal code, reorganized local governance, reformed the army, centralized taxation, built Russia's first structured standing army, and, most importantly, he broke the political power of the boy. Because in Ivan's view, a state could not survive with divided authority. Two powers meant chaos. This belief would reshape Russia forever. Kazan and Astrakhan. The birth of an empire in 1552. Ivan conquered the Kazan Khanate. In 1556, Astrakhan fell. These victories meant control of the Volga River, expansion eastward. The foundation of a multi-ethnic empire. Ivan was no longer just a ruler. He was a builder of empire. But every rise carries a breaking point, turning point. Loss of trust in 1560. Ivan's wife, Anastasia, died. He was devastated. But grief soon turned into suspicion. He believed she had been poisoned. And his eyes turned toward the boy. From this moment, Ivan changed. Harsher, more suspicious, more absolute. Historians call this era by one name: the Aprychnina. Rule through Firan, 1565. Hello again, history lovers. Last time, we left Ivan the Terrible on the brink of a monumental shift. He had conquered Kazan and Astrakhan, reformed the government, and seemed poised to lead Russia into a golden age. But the death of his beloved wife, Anastasia, changed everything. A dark cloud of paranoia descended upon him, and from its shadow emerged one of the most terrifying periods in Russian history: the Aprychnina. So, what exactly was the Imagine a state within a state, a personal domain ruled by Ivan with absolute, terrifying power. In 1565, Ivan dramatically left Moscow, sending back letters that he was abdicating due to the treason of the boyars, the noble class. The people, fearing chaos, begged him to return. He agreed, but on one condition: he would be granted his own private territory, the Aprychnina, where his word was the only law. To enforce his will, he created the Oprichniki, a corps of about 1,000 men who became his personal agents of terror. Dressed in black, riding black horses, and bearing the insignia of a dog's head and a broom, they symbolized their mission: to sniff out treason and sweep it from the land. They were loyal only to Ivan, and their power was absolute. They could seize lands, execute anyone they deemed a traitor, and terrorize the population with impunity. The rest of Russia, known as the Zemsk, was left to be governed by the traditional Boyar Council. But everyone knew who held the real power. This reign of terror lasted for 7 brutal years, dismantling the old aristocratic power structures and concentrating all authority in the hands of the Tsar. The peak of this madness came in 1570 with the infamous massacre of Ivan became convinced that the entire city, a wealthy and historically independent trading hub, was plotting against him with Lithuania. He led his operchiki on a punitive expedition that turned into a month-long bloodbath. Historical accounts describe unimaginable cruelty. Thousands of citizens, men, women, and children were tortured and killed. The city's wealth was plundered, its churches looted, and its social fabric utterly destroyed. The Novgorod massacre stands as a horrifying testament to Ivan's capacity for rage and the absolute power he wielded. The city never fully recovered its former glory. While terrorizing his own people, Ivan was also engaged in a costly and grueling foreign conflict. The Livonian War. It began in 1558 as an attempt to gain access to the Baltic Sea, a vital trade route that would connect Russia with Western Europe. Initially, Russian forces saw success, capturing key fortresses in what is now Estonia and Latvia. However, the war dragged on for nearly 25 years, drawing in powerful neighbors like the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and Sweden, who were not keen on a stronger, more assertive Russia. The war drained the Russian treasury, devastated the northwestern lands, and ultimately ended in failure. By 1583, Russia had lost nearly all of its initial gains. The dream of a Baltic port would have to wait for a future Tsar, Peter the Great. But perhaps the most personal and devastating tragedy of Ivan's life occurred in 1581. The details are shrouded in mystery and conflicting accounts, but the most famous version of the story is immortalized in Ilya Repin's famous painting. During a heated argument, Ivan struck his eldest son and heir, also named Ivan, with his pointed staff. The blow was fatal. The younger Ivan was, by all accounts, intelligent and capable, the hope for the future of the dynasty. In a fit of rage, Ivan the Terrible had not only killed his own son, but had also sealed the fate of his lineage. His remaining son, Fyodor, was pious, but mentally and physically frail, ill-suited to rule. The death of the Tsarevich was a wound from which Ivan and Russia would never truly recover. Ivan the Terrible died in 1584, reportedly while preparing to play a game of chess. His legacy is one of the most complex and contested in all of history. Was he a visionary nation-builder who crushed the divisive power of the nobles and centralized the Russian state, laying the groundwork for its future as an empire? Or was he a paranoid tyrant whose cruelty and destructive policies plunged the country into chaos? The answer is, he was both. He expanded Russia's territory and consolidated the power of the Tsar, but he did so at a terrible human cost. His reign left the economy in ruins, the population decimated, and the aristocracy shattered. His death, without a capable heir, directly led to a period of political crisis known as the Time of Troubles, a dark chapter of civil war, famine, and foreign invasion. Ivan IV was a man of staggering contradictions. Deeply religious yet savagely cruel, a shrewd reformer and a paranoid destroyer. He is the Terrible not just for his terror, but for the awesome, fearsome power he embodied. His reign is a powerful and unsettling story of how a ruler's personal demons can shape the destiny of a nation. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the dark heart of Russian history fascinating, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. See you next time.